All right, now let's start with Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin been doing? Well, it's been going from bottom left to top right. It occasionally scares everyone by breaking a trend line. And this is starting to look less like a cryptocurrency and more like a stock in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And that's probably because corporations are slowly buying it in size, okay, which is limiting downside volatility. Now, with Bitcoin, you've probably seen and heard all the charts. There's no resistance above 14K. It's beyond all the high volume zones. But let me try to tell you something about Bitcoin and then maybe talk about crypto in general versus other asset classes. So this table starts with the 2017 high, and then it moves to the current price. And then the column on the far right is the percentage up and down versus where it was at the high in 2017. So we begin with Tesla. Okay. I guess Tesla's got the cars that can drive themselves coming out any day now because their high was 78 and their current price is 388 for a 400% return. My friend QQQ, that's your FANG stocks or NASDAQ 100, is 70% on the far right, above its 2017 high. And Ethereum in black, a couple lines down, is 72% below its 2017 high. So the tech of the past, the Facebook account you don't use, okay, versus Ethereum, which one would you like? And then, of course, there's the idea of gold and Bitcoin, right? Everyone likes, that's like the new thing, right? This is how the legacy group is stomaching what's going on in Bitcoin by saying it's kind of like the new digital gold. I'm like, okay. Well, gold is 38% above its 2017 high, if you look in yellow, and Bitcoin is 31% below. So that kind of has to be addressed, right? Either Bitcoin's got to go way up or, something else has to happen. And then finally, when the equities world comes to Coinbase, and they are coming, okay, they're going to see Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Dash, stuff that you wouldn't even touch, right? It's not even your dad's crypto. Like, no one will go near it. But it's like 90% below where it was in 2017. It also has psychologically appealing prices, right? So if they have Bitcoin sticker shock, they move over there, okay? How do I pay my bills, right? COVID. I mean, it just keeps getting worse, right? Europe is unbelievable. And in the United States, we're looking at eviction rates. We're looking at evicting as many people in like 2 months as we did during the entire financial crisis. It's coming up. And a gallon of milk's up 40%. So if somebody says, here's a rising asset that you can buy things, you can get more dollars to buy things with this Coinbase debit card. This is the new sort of decentralized finance where cryptocurrency, decentralized cryptocurrency, becomes something you can use at the grocery store in the middle of a rally where corporates are buying it. Now, let's go to what no one's looking at, which is Ethereum. No one as in, like, say, small retail audience. Because Ethereum hasn't done much, right? All the action and all the talk has been about Bitcoin. Well, it just so happens that the Ethereum Bitcoin cross rate just hit a support point. It could be making, emphasis could, it could be making a head and shoulders bottom. Typically, that right shoulder is pretty violent in terms of the downturn. Okay. And, some homemade, lumpy gravy Elliott wave and some stochastics would seem to indicate that Ethereum is going to catch up to Bitcoin. Okay, that the correction of the DeFi rally on the left from July to September, right, where ETH, smoked higher, all we've done is just go through a corrective phase, right? So this gigantic Bitcoin rally has just been a correction in Ethereum versus Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin dominance. Okay, I'm not hating on Bitcoin. I don't think really Bitcoin's going lower unless there's a calamity on November 3rd, but Bitcoin dominance is at some measure of resistance, right? This was a prior breakdown point and a prior takeoff point. So there's a case for ETH. Now, one final note on this. It looks like Cointelegraph is reporting that option open interest for December in Ethereum is extremely high. This is because somebody bought a lot of call options, which means there's a big bullish bet for Ethereum to go above 400. Now, I know the contrarian in you is like, well, if they bet big up, it goes down. Maybe. Something else could happen because remember, those call buyers, right? Someone is short those calls. And even if it's a volatility player, to spare you the finance lesson, if Ethereum ever accelerated above 400, the people who sold those calls are going to have to buy more and more ETH. So there is a catalyst for ETH if it can get going. All right. It doesn't have to be just DeFi. Okay. Now, on a side note, things like Bitcoin Cash, people are like, what? Yes, Bitcoin Cash is starting to break through a diagonal resistance point. People, when they come to Coinbase, they're going to see like big Bitcoin as like Berkshire Hathaway A with some huge dollar price. And then they're going to see things with smaller dollar prices. And there's a fork coming here. So this is really interesting to me. Okay. Alt market cap, okay, is at a diagonal point here with these lines drawn off the top in 2018. Zooming in, it looks like alt market cap is actually holding its ground. Yes, I know the small alts. It's just that's, people have de-risks and they've been wrecked. But overall, alt market cap is holding. Now, in case you're wondering if, the election is going to create some sort of huge decline in Bitcoin, here's what I would say. I think if there was going to be a big drop in Bitcoin, it would be already reflected in the stock of Galaxy Digital, which is Mike Novogratz's hedge fund, right? And that stock, it trades in Canada, seems to be stable for the moment, right? So we can continue to talk about the election. I don't want to over monologue here, but that's sort of my market overview. Bitcoin, okay. Ethereum, big upside, and don't underestimate what your parents' crypto can do off Coinbase.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill. That was definitely quite the analysis. Let's check in here. If you have any questions, be sure to go to minty.com and put in your questions, or just post the questions down in the comments.